People, it's me, Majority, starting off the new year right with a new podcast, starring my friend Alex. I had fun doing it. We get into a nice little discussion, and we are a bit loud, so I would turn your audio down a cinch. Otherwise, let us know what you thought, and enjoy. Lovely viewers of the world, welcome
Welcome.
to Majority. Majority!
And it's me.
And I'm here with a very special T. Someone from the
You just called me a T?
Turbo Zone. yes, wait. Run with it. You're from the Turbo Zone.
Turbo. Yeah, it's true. That's what the T stands for. It's turbo.
Majora Turbo Zone. So actually it should be MTZ.
That's true.
Yes. Anyways, Alex is a great dude. He runs two channels, Freakin' Frack and Turbo Zone. Both equally awesome, and I think you should totally subscribe to them if you haven't already. With that being said, we're making a video.
Today.
That's what the T stands for.
I thought
today.
I should put that out there so you know that we're doing it today.
In a timely fashion.
In a timely fashion. It's very turbo.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the Switch. And when I say the Switch, I don't mean any Switch. I mean the Nintendo Switch.
And we're talking about why we haven't made the Switch. To the Switch.
Yes, the Switch to Switch. This is like the inception of Nintendo. It's like Ninception.
So yeah, the Switch has been out for like roughly a year now. And,
Almost.
And it's been getting tons of positive feedback. And you and I like Nintendo. So what's going on? Why don't we have it?
What's up with that? I figure we could take turns answering this.
Okay.
And then kind of go towards like what it takes for us to maybe get the Switch. I think if I'm right, in your mind you were thinking to yourself when Super Mario Odyssey came out, you were going to get a Switch.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. That's
Super Modesty is out.
Yeah.
Super Modesty? Super Odyssey.
Super Modesty is out.
If you could mod Mario Odyssey, it would be Modesty.
It's the most modest game out there.
Since Super Modesty is now out and you don't have a Switch, what do you have to say for yourself?
Oh shit! What did I do? I didn't buy it. I didn't buy a Switch.
Mario cries every time
I know.
you walk past the Switch at the convenience store.
So okay, so let's start out. Okay, so towards the beginning of the year, whenever the Switch came out, people were jumping out of their seats for it. I did a little video. I did like a fake unboxing video where I opened a box, and it was supposed to contain a Switch, and it just contained a Wii U game in a napkin that said "Wait for more games to come out." And I think I still stand by that, but like, at this point, it's become less about what games are out and more the fact that like I haven't felt like I needed it yet. Like I've been playing the PS4 just fine. Like we both own PS4s, and the PS4 in terms of games is like the strongest system this like generation. They got so many games. It's crazy.
It's a good point. I feel like the library, even though it's got several titles that are bound to keep you, like in the Switch, whether you're playing on your handheld or not. I don't know if it's like it's delivered everything it needs to yet. I think, you do have some third-party support. You got the Skyrim. What else is coming out on the thing?
I mean, the games that I'm really looking forward to that are coming out this year are like Metroid Prime 4 and like there's that new No More Heroes game. And that's all I can think of off top of my head.
So that's third party as well, the No More Heroes.
Yeah, it is.
But I feel like it's still primarily a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
With excellent hardware perks. So, I mean, and I just want to go into my my spectrum on why I haven't got a Switch, and then maybe we'll talk about like why it's good and what it would take to really get us to make the Switch.
Go ahead.
But for me, it's like I'm in a similar boat. You know, I feel like I could play Mario and I could play Zelda, but it doesn't have to be on a Switch. I feel like I've got tons of great Mario and Zelda games that I would happily replay or sink more time into before making the Switch to play more Mario and Zelda.
I mean, I guess I agree. I mean,
do you though? Are you happy with the Mario and Zeldas you have?
yeah, Breath of the Wild, I could buy on the Wii U because I do own a Wii U still, and so like I could play that one now if I really wanted to. I haven't. Mario Odyssey is the only game that really jumps out at me because it's the only game that I can only play on the Switch that I really want to play. Because like even other Switch games that are out, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like that's a Wii U game. The Pokken Tournament DX, that's a Wii U game. Like I own a Wii U. I can buy those games on the Wii U. I have Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Like I don't feel like I need to buy those games again.
It's almost like the Switch is becoming something of an expansion pack for games that were on the Wii U.
Well,
with like, games like that, with Mario Kart 8, it's probably going to do that with Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
What else? I've
heard even Splatoon feels a lot like the first game, which I have the first game. You know, like it's just one of those things that like it feels like they took a lot of the stuff that didn't. Well, because the Wii U didn't sell well. You know, that's just a fact. So it feels like they took a lot of the really good games and they're like, well, this hardware is selling well, so look at these new games. And people are all like, wow, Mario Kart 8 is amazing. I'm like, yeah, it was amazing when I played it back in 2014. Like, it's been a while, you know?
Sure. It's like Splatoon was the killer app for the Wii U, right? It's like the IP that made you want it.
It was a great game, but it came out in like 2015, and I've played it.
And now it's like, well, Breath of the Wild was the head starter, like, killer app, but the mistake was also putting it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but as far as like Switch marketing, it just takes out one more like exclusive to that console, and for like a console that's going to be primarily about Nintendo, they hurt themselves.
And I will put it out there that like I'm not saying the Switch is bad because I did recently get my hands on a Switch. I played it for about 3 hours. I played about an hour of Mario Odyssey. I played Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which was a really fun game, and I played some Snipper Clips, and Snipper Clips was fun too. But it's just like the guy that had the Switch, he's had it for a few months now, and he just had those 4 games. And I mean, I'm a guy that my PS4 collection, I'm at like 90 something now. Like I love to collect. I play games constantly, and I feel like with the Switch, I'm gonna hit a drought. I'm gonna hit a rough point to where I have nothing else to play.
I think that's where the fact that games like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, which are the killer app for the Switch, are those kind of games you could put hundreds of hours into. I've seen Zelda take up like 300 to 400 hours of people's time. Mario Odyssey, I hear the post-game content's amazing. So I'm not a big fan of games like that. I usually get tired of playing the same game after a while. But
that's true.
I think that's the appeal right now, is if you're looking for that kind of game that you just want to sink totally into, you don't want to play anything else, the Switch has that.
That's true. I do.
And I've held the Joy-Cons.
I played Mario Odyssey. I played a good like 3 levels in, and the game was fantastic. The game was a fantastic 3D platformer. But that's the thing, is also like this year we had a little resurgence of 3D platformers. We had Yooka-Laylee, we had the Crash Bandicoot games, we had Hat in Time just came out recently. There's been a lot of like 3D platformer love this year, and Mario Odyssey, I felt like if when it came out at like a year prior, where we didn't really have that like 3D platformer love, it probably would have been a bigger deal than it is.
What seems like the other big draw for most people is that the Switch is super portable. You can take it anywhere. I think I was at a New Year's party last night, and there was a kid who brought his Switch over from his house. I didn't see him playing it because I came a little late, but I think that's a pretty cool idea. And that's probably the best thing they have going for them right now. And the fact that it's not necessarily like a Wii U tablet. The Wii U tablet was what scared me to ever get a Wii U. If the Wii U tablet was its own device, which is pretty much what the Switch is, then I wouldn't be as, like, threatened, you know, to feel like I need two, like, a console and a tablet. I like that the console serves as its own portable. So if that was something that was really important to me, like I really wanted that home console that's on the go so I could, like, you know, go into every Zelda shrine or get every Mario Moon, yeah, I'd jump on it. But do you feel like that's a selling point for you,
You know,
personally?
that's a good point that you brought up. For one, I'm not really into portable gaming. I do like my 3DS and stuff, but I don't play a lot of handhelds. I only recently got back into playing my 3DS, so I feel like if I had a Switch, it would primarily be a home console for me, because you know, just because that's the kind of person I am. But you know, you brought up a good point with the Wii U, and maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe that's what's holding me back, is like while I owned a Wii U, I like enjoyed the games that were coming out and stuff, but like after I got a PS4. The only time I ever turn on my Wii U is if a friend wants to play Smash Bros. And maybe that's what holds me back, because like I just had this like bad taste in my mouth after the Wii U died. You know, of like, is the Switch going to be another Wii U where I just enjoy it while I play it, and then like afterwards I'll be like, I'm not going to, you know, not really going to play much of it.
That's a good point, because I feel like you and me both go on like the PlayStation Store and we just like browse like what's available, and it feels like there's so much, and that's in addition to an already extensive hardware library, or physical library rather. Mm-hmm. We both have like at least 50 games. You said you had 90.
Yeah,
that's a ton. I feel like I'll never run out of something to play on the
90
PS4.
Physical games. If you're going digital, I think I'm at like 160 something, like total. But just physical games, I'm at 90 something.
That's nuts. But the point is that PS4 has a set.
Yeah, it's got a lot of games.
Does the Switch have a set right now? What is their virtual console library at all?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they've announced the GameCube tie-in like yet. They were supposed to.
Yeah, and like people are making a big deal. Like the guy that brought it over, he was like, "Wow, the Binding of Isaac on the Switch is really cool." And I'm like, "The Binding of Isaac's been on the PS4 for like 3-4 years." Like I could have bought that multiple times by now. Like, it's just,
and you're gonna pay full retail for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Cave Story. What else? There's like Disgaea. Like these. That's a common RPG.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. The Switch is cool. I just feel like it needs a little more oomph. Like definitely, Metroid Prime 4 and No More Heroes are definitely the games that are gonna push me forward, because I'm a huge fan of both those franchises. But outside of that, like, people are like, wow, there's a new Kirby game coming this year. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I've played 1,000 Kirby games. Like, I mean, it sounds cool, I guess, you know.
Yeah, just play Kirby 64.
No.
But I know how you feel about that one. I just did that to throw salt in the wound. But regardless, I feel like the Switch is for a certain kind of gamer. And right now, like, for me, it's almost like if I appreciated the Wii U library more, maybe I'd be interested in getting it. If I wanted to play those like super expansions that I never had the chance to, I would. And I haven't played them. But I'm also not interested enough to do it, because they're expansions of games that are already very deeply rooted. Mario Kart? Come on, I've been playing that since my N64.
Yeah, that was one of the most common complaints with the Wii U, was the fact that, like, there were great games, but they were all just sequels to games we've had. Like, the only thing I would say that was strikingly, like, original on the Wii U was, like, Hyrule Warriors, maybe? And, like, that game's even, like, just Zelda slept on, you know, on the Warriors games, which was like 1,000 Warriors games, you know, by this point. So
it's almost like they're running dry.
Yeah,
with the Switch though.
Yeah, it's like the Switch, like Mario Odyssey. While I was playing it, I was like, wow. Like in my head, I was like, wow, this reminds me of Mario 64 or like Mario Sunshine. I was like, but I've played those games 1,000 times.
And you said it yourself. There have been multiple 3D platformers this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like I felt like I didn't need to jump into that because I played the hell out of Ukulele. Like,
and I played the hell out of Skyrim, so I'm not that interested in playing Breath of the Wild.
So it's just like I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know exactly. It's like I don't feel like there's an experience that would do anything beyond surface level of being like, oh, a new Mario game. You know.
So what? I guess at this point we should probably go into like the what would it take.
What would it take?
What would it take to make the Switch?
What would it take for you, Teddy?
I think we're kind of like heading towards that answer, and that's something novel, something new, something that hasn't been done. I get why Breath of the Wild has a wow factor, and same with Mario Odyssey. But for me, it's like that novel experience that it's like we're just like really urging for. Like, what are they going to do with Metroid Prime 4? That's what interests me. I'm interested in seeing like a full-scale 3D Shin Megami Tensei game that is not as like cryptic and old school as the previous ones. And I guess I like the idea of like spin-offs too. Like the Mario and Rabbids thing, I thought that was pretty brilliant. And if I had a Switch, I'd probably want to play that too.
I mean, what
that's my answer. It's just like that they keep trying the new ideas and keep experimenting, but also being faithful to what we love. With that, I'll hand it over to you.
What would make me buy a Switch? You know what? It's going to sound pretty backwards because we were talking about, you know, like wanting fresh new content from Nintendo. But honestly, I would love some more games from franchises that we don't get to see too much of. We have 1,000 Mario games. We have like 1,000 Zelda games. Like, what would sell me? Like Metroid Prime 4. That's one that I'm like, wow, we haven't had a Metroid Prime game in forever. What would probably sell me on a Switch would be the same thing that sold me on a Wii U. Pikmin. Give me a new Pikmin. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. Like, that game's had like 3 major installments since the GameCube came out, and like one crappy 3DS game. Like, give me Pikmin 4. Like, there's that, and like, of course, you know, there's always like a new F-Zero and stuff like that, or just like visit some of those franchises that don't get that much love. Like, people love Mario, Zelda, you know, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing. People already play those games, you know. Like, if you want to draw in some of the fans, try to build up that backlog.
So your answer then is new entries in underappreciated franchises.
Yeah, exactly. Just, you know, franchise like wouldn't it be crazy if if like tomorrow like they came out and they were like, here's a brand new Wario Land game, and you were like, what the hell?
That would be crazy.
Exactly. It's like,
and
what?
if it was actually like long enough. I remember like the GameCube one when that first came out. That was nuts. But then they put a bunch of like crappy ones on the DS.
Yeah, exactly.
They had like a real, and I heard like the Wii U one was like kind of eh. If they made like one really good one for the Switch, which it seems like they'd be up for, because they're totally making these like competent, quality games that will take up a good portion of your time.
Exactly, and like that's what they like. I feel like this is what they tried to do some with the Wii U, like with Star Fox and stuff. They were like, hey, look, a brand new Star Fox game, but like. The install base just wasn't there. No one cared. Like, this is the perfect time for them. They have a huge install base. This is the perfect time for them to bring back those old franchises and to have people care.
Great point. Let's hope we see some more in the days to come.
Yeah. Pikmin 4, Nintendo. That's all I'm asking for.
January Direct. Stay tuned.
So.
Anyways, that's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. It was great to have you on the show, Alex. If you call this a show, I call it a show.
On your show, Teddy.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great show. It's a great time. Hope everyone stayed for the credits. With that, look forward to great content in the year to come, 2018. It's going to be a blast. From all of our channels. Majora T, Turbo Zone, Freaking Frag, all of that.
We should just combine them. Majora T, Zone, Frag.
Frickin' Majora T Zone.
Freaking Majora Zone.
That's pretty good. Anyway, see you later, viewers.
Bye.